G'day guys, how's it going? I've been AWOL from YouTube a little bit lately because I got a job, yay! But the problem is it's keeping me extremely busy even after hours, so I've had no time to even look at other people's YouTube videos, let alone make any myself. But I'm here now, I've got a little bit of time, so I wanted to just pump out a quick video. Sort of, this is for people who are playing Feed the Beast, and most likely for people who haven't played Feed the Beast before, or if they have, they're struggling and they want to know how to sort of get, a really good start. This is my tips on how to start, not as best as possible in Feed the Beast, like nothing ridiculously stupidly tricky and sort of like loopholes on how to get resources and stuff quickly, but this is my way that I would recommend for you to go ahead and do your traditional Minecraft gaming, at least at the start, so you set up very nicely for whatever you want to do with whatever mods you want to play with later on down the track. Everything in the Feed the Beast pack needs resources, and some mods need a ridiculous amount of resources. Buildcraft and Industrial Craft and Great Tech. So it's usually best to get a lot of that at the start, so you don't have to keep on going up and down, back and forth between your cave and your base. So I started a new world here. This is a brand new world, sort of. I've already gone and played in this world just a little bit, just to get, some starting resources and so forth. This is kind of what your inventory would look like a little bit after about, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of Minecraft playing, I suppose. You've got your first workbench, your first furnace. I'll be honest, I cheated all of these in because, I wanted to explain some stuff about those, and I didn't want to waste your time showing you basically me doing some basic caving and stuff. That's boring. So, what am I on about? Now, usually when you start a Minecraft world, what you do is you first find your favorite tree, you punch it down, and you get the wood. Then of course you don't have tree capitator installed, so that doesn't happen when you punch a tree. It only happens when I punch a tree, because I do have it installed. So just in case you were wondering, that's the tree capitator mod. It's not part of the Feed the Beast pack. I added it in myself because I like it and I've been playing with it forever, and I add it always if possible. So you punch your trees, you get your wood, you make your crafting bench. Wooden pickaxe follows. Very shortly afterwards you get 3 pieces of stone that you smash into cobblestone. Throw away the wooden pickaxe, make yourself stone pickaxe, and then you get more stone, and then you make yourself a furnace, full complement of stone tools, stone sword and so forth. Then you go out, you kill probably some cows or some pigs or chickens, you get some meat, that way you've got some food, and then you chop down more trees and stuff. And then by that time you've probably got an inventory that looks sort of half similar to this, and you're ready to start going down to the caves, because that's when night time comes. And instead of going ahead and fighting all of these mobs, you just go ahead and try and find resources instead, and that's all nice and well. But usually in Minecraft, when you do that, you don't have much in the way of inventory space. Look, I've got 4 slots left, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4 down here in the right. Everything else is filled up. Now, yes, I could throw away the sand and the dirt and the things that are quick and easy for me to come by. I don't need that many saplings. I don't need rubber saplings for now. Don't need that. I don't need that. But at the end of the day, you're chucking away resources, and you're going to have to probably get most of those resources at some later time anyways. And also, if you've played Minecraft a few times, I'm talking about normal Minecraft or even Feed the Beast, you end up making a lot of trips back and forth between up there, wherever it is that you put your little base with, a few chests and a bed and so forth, and then back down into the caves again, where you found your favourite little hole that seems to go forever and ever and ever, and you go and mine a few things, you fill up your inventory, you're like, crap, I gotta go back and so forth, back and forth, and it really sucks. And to be honest, I'd rather not start my Feed the Beast experience like that. And I'm recommending that you don't either. I recommend that you follow this actual tip. Now, what I am talking about is the use of something called backpacks. And I cannot spell backpacks. These are from the Forestry mod. These backpacks are essentially pretty much what they say they are. Actually, they take up one inventory space wherever it is you want to put it. Can be in the hotbar, it can be over here up further where just sits around. And these things give you an additional 15 slots, well additional 14 slots, because they take up one slot and they give you 15 as a result. So you essentially adding 14 more slots to your inventory. Now that's pretty good. At the start, including the hotbar, you've got 36 slots. Without the hotbar down here, you've got 27 slots, 3 by 9. And let's be honest, it's not a lot, considering, especially in the Feed the Beast mod pack, there are so many different items. So there's going to be so many different stacks of stuff that you're going to collect. Any help you can get with being able to carry more stuff, the better, because then that way you are not going to be struggling so much with going back and forth and trying to find your way back through all these caves that you've lit up and so forth, just to find this one significant base where you decided to chuck down all your chests and put all of your stuff in. So I recommend you go ahead and gather these resources as soon as possible. These particular resources, okay? This is to make what I recommend is a good complement of backpacks that you can use to hold all of the resources that you want to collect. So instead of basically making a base, going down, back, you don't make a base at the start. What you do is you go ahead and gather these resources as quickly as possible. It'll probably take you 1 or 2 Minecraft days to get all of them, and then you find a hole in the ground, preferably around like this forest area or plains biomes, because under the ground of forestry or forest and plains biomes and so forth, you can get stuff like bauxite ore, which doesn't exist in other biomes like this desert that's back here. You can't find bauxite ore under the ground here, but you can find it under the ground over here. So yeah, what you want to do is you arm yourself with all these backpacks. You go down under the ground armed with a fistful of food, lots of food, a fistful of wood, because those are the 2 things you need to essentially sort of keep going while you're underground. Everything else you need you will get as you go. And then you can stay, basically your first mining session, well technically your second mining session, but your first big major mining session for gathering resources will be before you make a base, which means it doesn't matter where in the world you pick to go ahead and mine in. And yeah, it also allows you to stay underground mining and getting all of these delicious juicy resources basically without sort of coming up for about, I don't know, in real time. I've done this a few times and I've stayed underground for a good 3-4 hours straight of just Minecraft playing, gathering resources and so forth, and filling up these backpacks. And once you've done that, then you come up to the surface, you roam the Minecraft world until you find sort of like a nice little spot where you actually do want to make a decent sized base. And because you've got the resources to do so, you just go ahead and start making it, and then start making all the machines that you want to make and so forth. So it kind of frees you up from having to pick a spot early for your base. It frees you up from having to go back and forth and wasting time moving all of the resources you gather to wherever it is you put your chests and that. Yeah, it just gives you freedom, and it allows you to essentially, you can almost get away with going ahead and doing traditional mining with normal pickaxes and so forth once. I kid you not. After that, you will hopefully be able to go back down into the mines with much more powerful tools like, oh, I don't know, mining lasers and so forth, and that will make your mining a lot quicker and easier. Now, I'm going to start talking about the backpacks. Most of these, as you can see, they're color-coded. You know, there's 2 of each color. One's got a sort of like a white clasp in the middle, and one's got a more yellowy clasp in the middle. The yellow clasp ones in the middle are basically backpacks that can hold 3 times as many resources as their normal equivalents. You can't make these because, whoops, wrong mode. Let's go to recipe mode. This is what you need to make a woven version of any backpack, the one that holds 45 slots worth of stuff instead of 15. You need a diamond and you need woven silk. Basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these, each which take 9 silk wisps, so 9 sevens is 63 of these bloody things, and you get these from silky propolis, which means you have to get silky combs, which means you need bees from the jungle. So unless you're going to do a lot of bee breeding early on and so forth, and you've got a nice supply of diamonds, forget the woven versions, okay? Just make these basic ones. You don't need the trackmans, icemans, adventurers, apiarists, builders. You don't need those backpacks. You don't need the thaumaturge's backpack. Or do you? Maybe. Maybe it would be actually good to get a thaumaturge's backpack, because I'm imagining that's where all the viz shards would go instead of in the miner's backpack. Okay, maybe you need a thaumaturge's backpack as well. Whatever. You don't need that one. You need these. You need digger's backpacks. These hold stuff that's really common, the building materials and just general stuff that you can get almost anywhere all the time. Stuff like cobblestone, dirt, gravel, flint, sand, sandstone, I think obsidian. No, not obsidian. But yeah, all the general crap that it can take up a lot of inventory space. These diggers backpacks, they hold those materials, and the beauty is they only hold those materials. And the bigger beauty is when you have one of these inside your inventory anywhere, whether it be in the hotbar or anywhere else up here in the bigger part of your inventory, when you run over items like cobblestone and dirt and so forth that you've mined, they automatically go into any spare spaces they can find into the digger's backpack first. If they can't find any valid spots, then they go into other valid backpacks or other inventory slots and so forth. So it kind of, if you have a few different backpacks in your inventory, then they kind of automatically sort out your items for you. They keep them separate into certain subsets. Like I said before, the digger's backpack takes care of all of the common blocks, basically. That's what it holds. The forester's backpack, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? It holds logs, let's see, seeds of all sorts. It holds, let's see, saplings, flowers, forest sort of things. Plant life, that sort of thing. Hunter's backpack holds all of the mob drops that you get when you slay monsters, like rotten flesh, gunpowder, etc., so on and so forth, bones, arrows, that sort of thing. Miner's backpack. This is a really important one because it holds all of your goodies: redstone, diamonds, iron ore, all of the shiny stuff that you dig out of the ground, either here or in the nether, or even in the end. If it's shiny and it's not common, and by the way, I think endstone also and netherrack, and soulstand goes in the digger's backpacks. Everything else that's nice, like glowstone dust and stuff, goes in the miner's backpack, and I'm pretty sure that includes also obsidian. Okay, that's the only sort of, call it a common-ish block that's, I think, it's probably not special enough to go in the miner's backpack. I reckon that deserves to go in the digger's backpack personally, but hey, each to their own. Miner's backpack. You need to make a lot of these because this is going to hold all of your good stuff. And the thaumaturge's backpack, yes, we'll make that too. Now, all of these backpacks have similar recipes. In fact, there are only 2 items that are different between all the different backpacks. You always need string in the corners. You always need wool of any color up and down in the middle. In the very center, you need a chest. And on the sides of the chest are the identifying items. For the thaumaturge's backpack, it's amber. For the miner's backpack, it's iron ingots. For the hunter's backpack, it's feathers. For the forester's backpack, it's oak wood, or just wooden logs of any sort, pretty much from any tree that exists in Minecraft. I don't think you can use great wood or silver wood logs from the Thorncraft trees. I'm pretty sure you can't, so don't bother trying. Just use normal wood. Don't be silly. And the Digger's Backpack, which uses good old-fashioned stone, smelted cobblestone. Not difficult to get. Ignore the Builder's Backpack. This holds like clay, bricks, a couple of other items. Not the sort of stuff that you would get from the ground, but more stuff that you would use to build stuff with, things that you've prepared. And when I say get from the ground, yes, I know you get clay from the ground, okay? So if you're going to go on a rampage on a swamp or something and get a lot of clay, okay, make a Builder's Backpack. But generally, you don't do that when you're just underground caving. Let's see, Apiarists is for bees. Let's see, Adventurers is a configurable backpack that you can configure in the config file. Default, I don't think it holds anything, and you can just make it hold any subset of specific items that you actually tell it to using block IDs or whatever. Iceman's, I'm guessing that's for snow and ice and stuff. And Trackman's is for if you want to go building a railroad. Pretty pointless. So, what do you want? I'm recommending that you want the following. I'm recommending that we want daytime. Yes, I recommend that. Okay. I recommend that you get 3 Digger's Backpacks to hold all of the stone and cobblestone and stuff like that. I know it doesn't sound like much, all in all, considering that you've got a massive inventory and you can pretty much almost fill it up with backpacks. But when you're underground doing caving and so forth, you don't usually go digging through cobblestone and so forth unless you're going to be essentially sort of mining for diamonds through solid walls and so forth, doing strip mining and stuff like that. Unless you're doing that, you're not going to get a lot of cobblestone or dirt and so forth. You'd be surprised how little of that you actually pick up when you do normal caving. You just go around lighting the place up and picking whatever you can find off the walls, and that's about it. And you occasionally dig some cobblestone and whatnot just to make stairs up and down or whatnot, or I don't know, search through the walls very close to goodies to try and find more goodies. You don't get much, so 3 Digger's Backpacks is all I recommend. That's 45 slots worth of, dirt, cobblestones. That's bloody heaps. You won't even come close to filling it. You could even get away with just 2 Digger's Backpacks. Honestly, that's all you need. Forester's Backpack, just get one just to tidy up your inventory of like saplings and seeds and stuff, so you don't have to throw them away. It's not really much of a cost to surrender 1 inventory slot to hold a Forester's Backpack. So I recommend getting one of those. I also recommend getting one of the Hunter's Backpacks because it can hold all of the drops that you get from all the mobs that you kill while you're underground. If you don't, you'd be surprised how many different items there are and how quickly it can fill up your inventory space. So far we've got 3 Digger's Backpacks, 1 Forester's Backpack, and 1 Hunter's Backpack. Next is the Miner's Backpack. Go nuts with this because you're going to be picking up a lot of stuff underground. If you play Feed the Beast, pretty much any version of Feed the Beast, in particular the one I'm playing is the Ultimate Feed the Beast pack, then the Miner's Backpack, you're going to need like 9 or 10 of these just because there are so many different types of goodies underground, it's not funny. And you're going to be filling those up a lot. And if you're going to be mining for a long time underground, you are going to be picking up quite a lot. If you're not convinced, think about it like this. Whenever you mine lapis lazuli or a redstone block, you get like 4 or 5 dusts from them. If you enchant your tools, you can get 10 or more sometimes, and that can quickly eat up your inventory space. So get a lot of Miner's Backpacks. And as I just recently convinced myself, forget the Computer Engineer's Backpack, that's just ridiculous. You don't need that. Thaumaturge's Backpack for holding essentially all the Viz crystals and the amber and stuff like that you come across, and I'm guessing it probably holds zombie brains as well. In fact, I'd like to test that out right now. Let's show you very quickly what happens when you have a backpack in your inventory. Yay, I picked it up and, oh crap, it didn't actually go in there. Well, that sucks. That's stupid. It's Thorncraft. That should have gone in there or whatever. Anyways, okay, 64 air shards because, yeah, I mined that many right away. Okay, I'm a little confused. Maybe they do go into the miner's backpacks, all these Thorncraft raw materials, and not in the backpack for the Thorn materials. So ignore that. Now I'm saying don't go for that backpack, which is probably good because I don't have the materials to make it. Now, you're probably wondering, oh yeah, that's all nice and well. So how do I actually go about getting all of these backpacks made and so forth? Now, like I said, ideally you'd want to make all of these things and get yourself set up within about 2, maybe 3 Minecraft day-night cycles at most. So what do you need? You need to find yourself chickens, which kind of sucks because they kind of don't spawn in a lot of biomes ever since extra biomes got added to Feed the Beast, which is pretty much when Feed the Beast existed. So find some chickens, get yourself some feathers. Simple as that. You only need 2 because you really only need 1 hunter's backpack. So get 2 feathers, stone. Honestly, if you struggle to get 6 pieces of stone, then you fail Minecraft horribly and get lost. Iron ingots. Let's see. Basically, however many miner's backpacks you want, double that number, and that's how many iron ingots you need to make that many backpacks. You're going to need 2 wool for every single backpack you make, and you're going to need 4 string for every single backpack you make. I'll talk about that in a minute because that can be a little bit of a pain to get a hold of. You need chests, obviously, for the middle of the backpacks, and 2 oak wood for that forester's backpack. Now, let's talk about string for a second and wool. Now, we know that if you craft 4 string in a shape like that, 2 by 2, you get 1 wool, which is all nice and well. So already off the bat, you can get by with these recipes without having to kill or shear any sheep. Of course, it's ideal if you do find sheep, go ahead and kill them or shear them and get wool out of them, because that will save you the need to spend a lot of string making them. If you don't get wool straight off the bat, then you're going to have to make your wool from string, which means instead of using 4 string for every backpack you make, you're going to be using 12 string for the 2 pieces of wool and 4 more for the corners. So you're going to need a lot of string. Now in Minecraft, traditionally there was usually just one way to get string, and that is to kill spiders. Killing spiders kind of sucks. Ever since Minecraft 1.2, I think, came out, they decided to chuck all single player worlds within a multiplayer server. So now playing Minecraft is never quite the same. You can't sort of, accurately time things because there's server lag. Even if you're not playing on a server, if you're playing by yourself, you've got a bit of an issue with that. So it kind of sucks to just straight off the bat try and take on spiders when you don't have armor or any good, weapons and stuff. It's not exactly ideal. So there is an alternative. Red Power gives you something called flax seeds. And I think there's also henequen seeds from some other mod, but you don't want to use those. Just make flax seeds because flax seeds are really, really good at making string. Yes, that's right. Flax seeds equals string when it's grown. You just place it on tilled earth, preferably hydrated as well, just like you would normally with seeds for wheat. Instead, these grow 1-2 blocks high, and when you break them, they give you more flax seeds and string. That's right, you can grow string. So instead of going ahead and killing spiders, what you can do is get some flax seeds by doing the same thing you would do to try and get seeds. Just find tall grass, keep hitting it, eventually you'll get some flax seeds. You only need 1 to start off with. And I'm having horrible luck. It usually takes quite a few goes to finally get the seeds you want. Let's find more. Here we go. Come on. Give me seeds. Henequen seeds. Not ideal, but you get the general gist. And that's lag. So, what you want to do is, if you prefer to take on skeletons instead of spiders, then go ahead and take on skeletons and kill them. Because you can use their bones. Let me get out of that. To make bone meal. That's right. Go ahead and kill as many spiders as you can so you can get bone meal, because just like with wheat, you can grow flax with bone meal. Look at that. There we go. Fully grown. Didn't have to wait a single second. Bam, bam, bam. should kill them all. And look at that. Now I've got more flax seeds, and more importantly, look at that. 3 flax plants, fully grown, gave me 9 string. That's a pretty good turnover. So get that bone meal happening, get 1 flax seed, and you are pretty much set to grow all of the string that you will need to start making your backpacks. So just keep doing that. I'm not going to bother wasting my time with more of that. I've just told you how to grow string instead of, obtaining string from spiders. Now that you know how to do that, it's time to make all of your backpacks. I've already shown you all the recipes, so I'm not really going to bother with this, am I? Am I? Yeah, I kind of am. So let's just get rid of some of the junk. There we go. Alright, I need you, and you. And I'm going to set up what I think is a really good setup of backpacks for you to use. This is kind of what you want your inventory to look like before you actually go mining properly. Now let's see, where's my chests? 9 of those. Let's see, feathers, there they are. 1 of those. 3 of those, and where's my, oh yeah, wood of course. Lastly, 1 of those, and this is all just spare now. So, I've got all of my junk. Half of it is in the chest, half of it I've still got on me. Just this video turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it would be. But anyways, I'm kind of getting close to wrapping up. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to throw the... Come back here, you. And you. Alright, yeah, anyways. Let's see now. Basically, what I've done is I've turned my small inventory space all of a sudden into a rather large one. Now, keep in mind, 2 of these backpacks can hold almost as much items as your whole inventory. It's your whole inventory minus 6 slots. So, that's quite a lot of space. Let's see now. I'm just going to sort it out, make it look pretty for you. There we go. Put you there. You there. You there, you there, you there, you there. And notice how I didn't completely fill my inventory with backpacks because, maybe it's a big mod pack. Maybe you might come across some items that don't fit in these backpacks. So they might just automatically go straight into your inventory somewhere. But that's completely fine. There we go. Like for instance the chest. There you go. That did not get sorted. But look, everything else is in backpacks. 2 of 15 slots used. 5 of 15 slots used. 5 again. 1 of 15 slots used. I'm guessing that's the iron ore I had before. And so on and so forth. That, to me, is a really efficient way of essentially having yourself set up. I'm just going to chuck this on the ground so I can pick it up. Let's see now. Get rid of that and that. And these things hold pretty much everything that you would need. So, I wonder if any of them hold tools. I doubt it. Yeah, no, they don't. Okay, so things that didn't get sorted out. There you go. You'd think that would go into the forester's backpack, wouldn't you? But no. Rubber sapling. This is a different type of rubber sapling. It's not from Industrial Craft. It's from another mod. It was added sort of recently, and clearly it has not been fixed up to fit in the forester's backpack. Bone meal. Well, you're not going to be holding any of that. It's going to be bones. So while you're down there caving, that doesn't matter. And zombie brains. Well, kind of sucks that that doesn't get sorted out, but hey, look, we've still got lots of slots available for other miscellaneous odd stuff. So there you go. My backpacks are doing their job. Now, that is the first major tip. Once you've got that done, you are set up. Go and find forests or plains, find a nice cave underneath them, and go caving and find this stuff. If you want to do industrial craft or build craft and you essentially want to make quarries which do automatic mining for you, and they mine rather large chunks of areas, then you're going to want this. This is basically a block that's like lapis lazuli to look at, except instead of being blue in highlights, it's brown. You find these pretty much from this height down, so level 64. You can mine them with stone pickaxe, but to be honest, hopefully you've got something better by then. Get as many of those as you can. They get sorted straight into your miner's backpack, which is nice and convenient. And yeah, you're going to need a lot of that if you're going to make yourself a lot of titanium. There's a useful tip. So I've already told you how to make backpacks and why. I've told you, let's see, doing a quick checklist in my head here. I've told you about bauxite ore and how you can find it in forest biomes and plains biomes under the ground. You also need to find, if you're going to do stuff, anything with like fertilizer, which is quite a lot of mods including forestry, then you will want to try and find hills like this above sea level on biomes that are hilly. That's where you find this ore that's got like, it looks like stone, but it's got blue highlights, very bright blue, sky blue almost coloured highlights, called apatite. You find those rarely, but in really large veins. Go ahead and collect as much of that as you can as well. That will automatically also get sorted into your miner's backpacks. These miner's backpacks you use a lot. They hold a lot of different items, which is why I recommend you make a lot of them. You're going to be using all of that space. And lastly, to round up this video, when you're under there, under the ground, going and mining and caving away, take note of these things. Green sapphires. Now here, green sapphire ore. Ooh, okay. That's not the one I wanted. Let's try ore. Green, no, that's an emerald ore. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Come on. Maybe it's not called an ore. Maybe it's just green sapphire or something like that. Okay, this is really odd. I should be able to find green sapphire ore, but I can't. Okay, well anyways, there's a green sapphire block that you will come across. You will come across 3 types of gems while caving underground. There are rubies, there are sapphires, and there are green sapphires. The rubies and the sapphires and the green sapphires, you can actually use them to make like a full complement of tools. You can make a sword out of these gems as well. You can't make armor out of them though, unfortunately, but I recommend that you don't use any of the rubies or the sapphires, the blue ones that you find, because those can be used as replacements for diamonds in a lot of industrial craft recipes. So don't use those. However, green sapphires, and I've checked this, I've gone through what they can be used to make and so forth, and it's pretty much a dead end for what you can do with them. Green sapphires are almost useless. So I recommend, instead of using the iron that you come across every now and then and having to stop, make a furnace and smelt it and stuff like that, make your tools out of green sapphires as soon as you start coming across them, because they have the same attributes as iron tools, except they last longer, and I think they mine a little bit quicker as well. So go ahead and find those green sapphires underground and use them to make tools. That is what I recommend. Do your big caving session, get a lot of stuff, then go back up in the world. That doesn't matter where. Go and find your ideal spot, make your base, and then start your adventure through Feed the Beast. I recommend that's how you start playing this game. I think it's probably best. It still forces you to do some traditional mining, only it allows you to stay underground for a lot longer, which, to be honest, probably suits you because it saves you from having to go back and forth up and down underground. Just make sure you bring an ample supply of wood, an ample supply of food, and I mean a ridiculously large amount of food, because you're going to be going through a lot while you're down there. You're going to be jumping up and down all over the place, using up your hunger while you're caving. Outside of that, you will come across everything else you need, like coal you can use to make torches. If you really want to be fastidious about it, just get more wood and make charcoal out of it instead. I think it's kind of pointless, but yeah, everything else you will need while underground, you will find there. I think that's about it. I've rambled along probably long enough, so I hope you get something useful out of this video. I hope I helped you start your